Hello, fellow YouTubers! Welcome to this video. What a great pay-per-view we got. Extreme Rules 2017, radiating right out of Baltimore, Maryland. What a show.
The only thing to ever come out of Maryland. Filth.
Oh snap, we got Elias Sampson over here. So let's start off this review, okay? So you didn't watch the Kalisto Apollo Crews match?
I did not.
There was no reason really to watch this, except for one spot, which was pretty cool. Titus O'Neil, for one, well, Apollo Crews said the F word. You could hear him say it, everything. Two, he's talking to to Titus O'Neil, and then Kalisto comes up behind him, kicks Titus O'Neil. I don't know why I can't remember which one's which. He kicks him off the ropes, and then hits him with a Selena del Sol to Crews, pins him, wins the match. Frankly, okay, match fucking sucked, okay?
I mean, you know, Kalisto, they're like two, lesser wrestlers.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so let's start with the actual main card. So the match that opened the show was the IC title match. Miz versus Dean Ambrose. If Dean Ambrose were to get disqualified, The Miz would win the belt. Okay, now I must say that for a pay-per-view match, this was mediocre.
Yeah.
Now, the storytelling in the match was good.
I mean, for a Dean Ambrose match, yeah, it was pretty good.
See, it's funny because most of the internet fans would say it in reverse. They'd be like, for a Miz match, it was good.
The Miz is great.
But there were a few good spots in this. For one, Maurice slapped The Miz, and the referee was going to call for the bell, but no, he ejects Maurice.
Like when the Miz threw him.
He threw Dean Ambrose into the ref, and the ref is going over. Like, for one, never before, no, not never before, never in the last 10 years has a referee had to go over to the timekeeper to say, I'm calling for the bell. Normally you just go, it's fucking over, and it's fucking over. But instead, he's gonna walk all the way over there, and
Dean Ambrose,
stupid ass Dean Ambrose, watching the timekeeper as he goes. So what does Miz do?
RKO out of nowhere.
RKO out of nowhere.
Hold on. What's his move called again?
It's called the Skull Crushing Finale.
Okay. See, I was never really a big Miz fan to begin with, but now he's really grown on me,
and I think generally a lot of the wrestling fans agree with you, where people didn't care for him until legitimately last year.
Really?
Yes. And I'm gonna say it because I can say it. I have been a misfit since like 2007. Okay?
He was on the train before it was cool.
But that's aside from the point. So, The Miz wins the match, which I'm perfectly okay with. Granted, the Skull Crushing Finale normally doesn't win matches.
I mean,
normally it takes
that.
It takes like 2 of them to win a match. Didn't tonight. I'm fine with it though. Not complaining. Miz IC champ 7 times. Yeah, it's getting a little ridiculous.
I like seeing Dean Ambrose not have the belt more than anything else.
I also like seeing Dean Ambrose lose matches. so I think next was the mixed tag match. Rich Swann, Sasha Banks versus Noam Dar, and Alicia Fox.
Honestly, kind of a lackluster performance. I mean, Rich Swann, I like watching him wrestle. He's entertaining. But Noam Dar, he didn't really do a whole lot.
Let me ask you, who won the match?
Rich Swann.
Okay, I'm surprised you can remember.
Yeah,
because for a second there, I couldn't remember who won the match. This match sucked. Now, I'm going to say this right now. This show felt like a Raw. It really did. There were only 2 matches that didn't.
Yeah.
And the rest of the show...
It's kind of a shame.
Felt like it was a Raw.
The mixed tag match, something we'd see on Raw.
Definitely.
Aries and Neville?
Whoa.
Okay, sorry.
We're not there yet.
Ourselves.
We're not there yet, and I forgot about that match. So it's 3 matches that were upper, almost pay-per-view worthy. So the faces win the match, which is kind of weird. They're in Baltimore, which is Rich Swann's hometown.
That's why he had to win.
But they're not supposed to win in their hometown. But I guess what it is he's got Sasha Banks with him, and Sasha Banks is obviously going to go on and feud with another female competitor who we'll get to later. Okay, speaking of later, that's right now. The next match, blinking you missed it, is Alexa Bliss versus Bayley.
Yeah, that was so fast.
Okay.
Now, would have loved to see Bayley win this. I personally am a Bayley fan. I like the whole thing she's got going, the positive energy, the happiness, and I mean, I guess she's kind of fun to watch wrestle, but like that match was a disappointment.
So when Bayley first debuted, I was all for her. Okay, I'm at the point I don't care for her anymore.
Really?
Really?
No, Bayley's
there have
good.
been so many matches she's been in where, for one, she looks sloppy as hell.
Yeah,
You'll start noticing it now.
thinking
You'll
back to
watch her
this
do
one,
weird
yeah, it was
things, and you're like, why is she doing this? And you could chalk that up to her character, but I don't think it's her character.
Yeah.
Like, for example, tonight, she has the kendo stick.
And doesn't even do it.
Doesn't use it.
At all.
Okay,
Like,
so the logical conclusion to this match should have been Bayley using the kendo stick.
beats the shit out of
Alexa Bliss steals the victory, though. That way you can have their feud kind of break off. You can move Sasha Banks up to feud with Bliss, and you can maybe move Bayley to feud with Nia Jax. I don't fucking know.
And beat her to death with a kendo stick. I mean, beat her into submission with a kendo stick.
No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't beat her. Nia Jax would
Right.
win.
She'd break the kendo stick over, and Nia Jax wouldn't even flinch.
Now, on the same token, okay, we can be angry about the way this match turned out, but they had been telling us for like 3 weeks now that the match was going to end like this.
Have they?
Yes, because every single step of the way they've been saying, hey guys, Bayley won't use the kendo stick.
Yeah. I mean,
And she didn't.
it's not. It doesn't seem like it's in her character.
And that's perfectly fine.
It is. It really
At
is.
least she didn't go Super Cena a la John Cena versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30.
John Cena
30,
versus
yeah.
anybody ever.
Well, this match is more particular for that because the story of the match was that Bray Wyatt was going to, this was one of his first big matches, he was going to like affect Cena's mind so Cena would use a chair, right? And Cena was going to win the match via using the chair. Well, he doesn't. He has the chair, doesn't use it. Bray Wyatt still loses.
yeah. You know.
So he lost the mental victory and he lost the physical victory. That's not what happened here.
No.
Bayley stuck to her character.
She
That-
lost everything.
That is a victory here. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Blink and you missed it, though.
It was really like
Way too short.
so short. I was like, man, it was over that fast. I mean, I thought for sure that the shortest match was going to be the mixed tag, but
No.
well, fuck me. I mean,
No. There was 11 minutes between those two matches
yeah.
in total. Okay, to put that in perspective, the Steel Cage Tag Team match that followed this was longer than that. Now, okay, I'm going to take over for this one
Okay.
because this match infuriated me. Okay, so when you watch wrestling, you suspend this belief that says wrestling is fake. You go, I know it's fake, but I'm going to pretend for a bit that it's not. I'm going to appreciate the athleticism that goes on here.
Yeah.
So, what did we get in this match? We had idiocracy in the highest degree because there were multiple points in the match where either team could have just let one of the people go out of the cage.
And beat the crap out of the other person.
That is the rules. They reiterated it before the match.
And we did see it happen when
Jeff Hardy escaped.
Yeah, he left.
But then they decided that's not good enough. Now, quote me if I'm wrong, prove me wrong, okay? But I think that was the first time ever that in a steel cage tag match, a person has come back in the cage after escaping. Could be wrong.
No.
Again, that's why you guys are here, other than enjoying my great presence
That's
as
true.
well as Tim's.
Mine's alright.
But here's the thing, okay? It made no sense. Because Jeff Hardy jumps back in the ring,
And he does it with
which,
style.
which I'm okay with. Whisper in the wind off the top, I'm perfectly fine with it. We came in expecting something like this. Okay, but now, Michael Cole literally sitting there going, hey, now that Jeff Hardy's jumped back in, he has to escape again.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to go over the rules of this tag team match as they went over them. Both people on the team have to escape the cage. Jeff Hardy escaped the cage. Matt Hardy gets up. Instead of escaping the cage, which, as the rules have been stated beforehand, would be a victory, nope, he suddenly knows the rules, has to carry Jeff Hardy out. so he loses his tag team titles.
Would it have counted if he, like, if Matt had just walked out since
No.
Jeff had already escaped before?
No, Michael Cole mentioned it on commentary. Both of them have to be outside of the cage at the same time. That was not stated before the match.
Yeah.
It is a load of horseshit.
And as much as I really like Cesaro and Sheamus, and
As do I.
and I wanted to see them win, I thought it was done in a very boring, poor fashion. Like I wanted something so much more grand out of that match than what I got.
Yeah. It was a very boring match. But, and here's to the match's case, okay, it did at least feel like a pay-per-view match.
It did.
Now, I'm also going to mention that I have made a video complaining about steel cage matches. So, I just don't like steel cage matches. They are dumb. The match itself wasn't booked in a way that made it feel like a personal, vendetta, like we're going to beat your ass kind of thing. Even though it could have been, and if it did, then holy hell, the match would have been better.
It would have added to the story. And one thing I don't like about steel cage matches in particular is when they get to the top, they can get there in an instant, but the moment they try to climb over, for some reason they just can't do it. They get one leg over and the other leg is like 1,000 pounds made out of lead, and they just can't do it. And the moment they're grabbed, it's like they're instantly just pulled back in. And I'm like, it doesn't look real.
Though, for the match, okay, there was a really cool spot where Cesaro was holding Jeff Hardy's arm. Holding him up. Cool spot. But again, while it's happening, I'm screaming at the TV saying, just fucking let him go. Help Sheamus keep Matt Hardy in the ring so that way you guys can beat the piss out of him.
And honestly, they could have just like done a white noise with him like they did, and then climbed immediately out through the door.
Or
over the top.
You have a door.
Yeah.
Just go out the door.
And the ref even is kind enough to open it for you. He's like, oh, good sir, you want to come out? Oh, be my guest.
Oh, okay. We've gone long and hard enough on this one. Okay. So, next match, I want to say, was this the Cruiserweight title match?
Yeah, this was the Cruiserweight match.
Okay, so going into this, we both kind of put 2 and 2 together and realized, hey guys, Neville is going to win here. Okay? I think we both mentioned it in the preview video, the predictions.
I think so.
Because it only made sense. If Aries was to win this, then we'd have another match between these two, and there's no point for it.
No point at all. I mean, like, how many times is Aries gonna get thrown into Neville just to get
chopped down?
Beat? Yeah.
Well, apparently 3 times is the correct answer, as that's how many times we've seen this match now.
If there's a 4th time,
there won't be.
I'm gonna be pissed. I'm not gonna watch it.
So go over with me the conclusion of this match. Do you remember how it ended?
Some stuff about the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah, they put the Rings of Saturn in. They both did.
Something about a discus biscuit.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so Neville is outside of the ring, and remember, Austin Aries runs to do a suicide dive, and before the camera can even pan over, there's no Neville. Where did he go? Austin Aries can't even find the Neville level at this point.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's gonna be my favorite moment from this whole match, like this whole show.
Yeah, you cracked up for it like 4 times.
I died, and then they showed the replay at the end of just Aries soaring through the sky and landing on his face, and I lost it.
I want to say he just threw him back in the ring and hit a Rings of Saturn after that. No, he did the Phoenix splash onto his back.
And then the Rings of Saturn.
I'm going to complain about this because you can see Aries looking at Neville like, please don't jump on me.
You watched the
I
replay?
would not like that,
He's like
kind
pushed
sir.
himself up with one arm, and he's like looking at him. He's like, oh, he's going to land on me.
He's like, I know how to stop the impact. How about I fall on my belly?
Yeah.
That's going to save me.
Lay flat. It'll protect you.
And then he taps. Boy, did he tap? Yeah, he tapped to the Rings of Saturn.
It was like a floppy hand tap. He's like...
Yeah, I didn't even see it. I was like, maybe they're just going to leave him in it until he passes out. Nope.
Oh.
So, Great Balls of Fire calling it out. Akira Tozawa, Neville, Cruiserweight title.
Triggered hard.
Maybe we'll get a triple threat, put TJP in there. He dabs.
Get Jack Gallagher in there. Steal him.
Now, are we missing a match before we go to the main event? We have the women's title, we have tag titles, we got the IC title, we have the mixed tag, we got the pre-show. Yeah, I think we're good.
Hold on. Before we go into that, I would like to take a moment to talk about Elias.
Okay, good, because I was just thinking that as you started saying this.
I had never seen him before, ever. First time I'd ever seen him. Really like the guy.
Yeah.
He's cool.
His character is good. He's really good at portraying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to say it. He had a match with Dean Ambrose a few weeks ago on Raw. And he straight up, like, lifted off the ground like 4 or 5 feet to knee him in the face.
Really? Holy shit.
Yes. It was incredible. Elias Sampson. I don't know why people think he's going to be like this mid-card guy. Because unless he's like 40 and I don't know about it, he has everything.
I like his character. He's probably like one of my favorite wrestlers now, even though I haven't seen him wrestle. I like the whole like sense about him, like the way he is. It's cool.
Though, and devil's advocate here, him showing up to sing a song randomly in the middle of the show, hinting that Finn Balor or Bray Wyatt was going to win, made no sense.
I mean, I really
made it feel like an episode of Raw.
I don't want to continue after this.
Okay, so this is Tim's favorite part of the show. So let's go over this Fatal 5-Way. So, straight up, the first, 15 minutes, boring. Okay, it really was. Because Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt are teaming up to just beat the piss out of everybody.
Seeing the two shittiest wrestlers of the entire night.
I wouldn't say the entire night. There was Dean Ambrose on this show.
I will put Dean Ambrose above Samoa Joe any day of the week. Maybe on par with Bray Wyatt. But
So there was the cool spot at the beginning of the match where the bell rings and they kind of sit there for a second, and then Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe start beating each other up. Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt start beating each other up, and you just have Roman Reigns standing there watching.
Yeah, that was cool. He's like, okay,
now,
I mean, whatever.
They've been doing this for a while now, okay? Because you have to imagine the company knows that the fans don't like Reigns.
I mean, yeah,
you would have to imagine. And since a month before WrestleMania, they've been doing these things with him that are almost heel things. Like a face,
kind of not really heel either.
A face would have kind of went in there and started picking a fight.
Yeah.
But no, Reigns just sits there and waits for somebody to come to him. He sits in the middle of the ring, waits for Bray Wyatt to come in, punches his teeth out, and then moves on to the next guy.
That is nice.
So it's just an interesting thought where it almost seems like the company wants him to do it. Like maybe they're trying to test out how he works as a heel. But then again, they didn't turn him when they had the fucking perfect opportunity. So anyway, did Roman Reigns win this match?
No, he did not.
No, he did not.
And
even though he looked really dominant, there was a really good spot where Samoa Joe, I think it was Samoa Joe and Finn Balor, were fighting in the corner outside of the ring, and Roman Reigns just charges in and spears the hell out of both of them.
That came out of
through the barricade.
Nowhere. That was so good.
I don't care that the fans don't like Roman Reigns. All I'm saying is that if any of the Sami Zayn's, Dolph Ziggler's, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins did that spot, the fans would have lost their shit and started chanting "Holy shit!"
It's true.
But no, they start chanting it when Seth Rollins a few seconds later jumps from the inside of the ring, from the corner, through Bray Wyatt on the announce table.
Fire! That was so good.
But I'm just saying, Roman Reigns' spot was just as good.
And honestly, I was feeling kind of bad for Roman Reigns, a decent bit of the match, because if you notice, I'm pretty sure this is what happened. But when Finn Balor did the hole on the side of the ring, point your finger guns, I'm pretty sure he kicked Roman Reigns right in the face. Because he was bleeding.
Yeah.
There was blood on the ground. The ref had to even put on his gloves.
He might have just bit his lip really hard.
I mean, I guess that could have been a thing.
Because it wasn't like he was profusely bleeding.
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying it might have been a safer, a less severe thing.
Well, and then even a little bit later when Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were having their little thing in the ring, it looked like Roman Reigns caught a nice kick to the face. Like,
yeah.
But he kept going. So I gotta give him some credit.
There's an interesting argument here, though, because right now, because of guys like Shinsuke and how big NJPW is right now, New Japan, that strong style is very in right now. And strong style is where instead of wrestling, you legitimately hit your opponent.
Okay.
So Finn Balor, kind of one of those guys, I could see him doing it on purpose, to where maybe Roman signed off on it. The match Roman had with Lesnar at WrestleMania 31, I believe, was a very stiff match. So I think Roman is okay with guys actually hitting him.
Yeah, I mean...
Where maybe he's like signed off on it and he's like, hey guys, if you want to actually kick me in the face, then just expect to legitimately get punched in the face when I get my shot. They did the replay of the spot from Monday Night Raw where Seth Rollins does the buckle bomb and Roman Reigns is like, ha ha ha, Superman punch.
Damn.
That was nice. We had to rewind to see that one twice. I'm just saying.
Now let's see. Hold on. Where do we leave off? Okay, after Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt, betrayed each other. Like
now, okay. Before we continue, because hold your spot. I just want to go over this again. Okay, Samoa Joe is a fucking doofus. I don't know why they think we're gonna take him seriously when, for I think the third or fourth time in the month, he has been betrayed by Bray Wyatt.
The same guy every time.
The same guy. I get that they're the only heels in the match, but at the same point, hey, Samoa Joe, you know, if you would have stabbed Bray Wyatt in the back, I might actually have something redeeming to say about you at this point.
I mean, like, I guess it, like, put him a little bit higher up.
Like, if he was a smart bad guy who could also, you know, rough you up in the ring between the ropes, at least his character-wise, in his character, okay, I could at least respect that. But he just looks like a fucking doofus.
He really does.
This is... Okay, you're good.
Imminent betrayal, duh, obviously.
Obviously.
And then the match breaks out into total awesomeness.
Yeah,
like,
it picked up from there.
Like, it just cruised up and up. And then what happened? Finn Balor, after Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins do their thing, Finn Balor gets in the ring. No, Bray Wyatt gets in the ring. Tries to hit Sister Abigail. Can't do it.
He's going for it on Seth Rollins. He lets go so he can go for Bray Wyatt for Roman Reigns, which is just fucking stupid. You would imagine like if wrestling was real, okay, say these were real fights, okay?
Yeah.
My mindset would be, no, I'm not doing this on Roman Reigns because I know he's going to spear me in a second. So what does he do? He gets speared.
Yeah. and then he's laying on the ground speared, and here comes Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor gets Roman Reigns with the coup de grace. I'm trying to think of what knocked Seth out.
Seth Rollins, Superman punch. He tried to do the...
was it the buckle bomb?
He did the buckle bomb, and Roman Reigns came back with a little bit of energy and just Superman punched him.
Okay, yeah, because I think then Finn snuck in.
Yeah.
So then Finn hits Roman with the coup de grace, because they keep calling it the coup de grace. So apparently there's an S there, a loud S.
There's no S. It's silent.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves have said it now.
They can't.
So it's there. Okay, it's the coup de grace. So we might as well just call it the coupe de grace.
The coupe de grace.
It's basically a car. He's just a really big fan of Degrassi. He's like, man, my favorite Canadian show when I was growing up.
So hits the coupe de grace, and here comes the worst part of the entire night. Samoa Joe, the guy who just laid outside the ring for the past 10 minutes, did do no wrestling at all. That entire match, except for one enziguri, chokes him out and wins the match to become #1 contender.
He puts him in the Coquita clutch.
Stupid.
Okay. So, for one, Tim, okay, this is being a wrestling fan, especially in 2017. Because literally, okay, this has been happening to everybody who dislikes Roman Reigns for the last, 2 years, where every time you're like, hey, Seth Rollins is getting, guess he's not. Roman Reigns is coming to take the belt off of him.
I'm just saying, when I made my predictions in the last video, I said they're gonna let everybody down and know it's gonna be Finn Balor. Because I was like, there's no way they're gonna put Samoa Joe. He fucking sucks. But guess what? They managed to take the next step and be like, hey, you know what would be great if we just did literally the dumbest fucking thing that we possibly could.
Hey, you wanna know how many pay-per-view matches Samoa Joe has? I wanna say this was his 3rd. So Samoa Joe might be getting added to my list of guys I will boo until they retire or the fans decide they're going to cheer for Roman Reigns. Because this is exactly what happened with Finn Balor. He showed up, had a good month, maybe, and Samoa Joe hasn't even had that. And then he wins the world title. Now, I'm going to relieve you a little bit, okay? Because the rumor online right now is that all 5 of these guys are going to fight Brock Lesnar sometime within the next year. And that they're all going to get their ass beat.
Except maybe Finn Balor.
Except Roman Reigns.
Well, okay, that makes sense.
That is the rumor. That being said, Samoa Joe winning this match made no sense.
I have no words. I am so, like, let down. I'm sad. I'm pissed.
So let's go over why you're these things. So, Samoa Joe barely been on the main roster. Samoa Joe has been an idiot for the last month.
Samoa
Joe. You can go next.
Can't wrestle.
Okay, I wasn't going to go that far, but he's very boring to watch in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Samoa Joe can't do anything by himself.
He doesn't speak.
He's spoken a few times.
Has he?
From what I've heard, what he's said has been okay. People like it, and that's all fine, good. You like what you like. But they didn't even hint that Samoa Joe had the chance here.
Right,
so
like,
Paul Heyman comes out and slurps Finn Balor. I mean, he is really slurping him. There is so much, so much in his mouth that I'm surprised Paul Heyman could even keep talking. I'm surprised Paul Heyman isn't pregnant with like 20 children right now from the wrong end. And that's not a knock at gay people. It's just he was really slurping.
Yeah,
really.
From what I hear, he was riding it hard.
So, if Finn Balor won, that was foreshadowed.
Right.
If Bray Wyatt won, then you can argue, okay, Elias Sampson previewed that in his song.
I got so happy. I was like, foreshadowing from Elias.
He did say this.
He's gonna whip Finn Balor, the demon.
And then even more to add on to this, Bray Wyatt in his promos has been saying the Spear of Destiny. Now, what is Roman Reigns' finishing move?
The spear.
The Spear.
So you're telling me, that Samoan Joe is the Spear of Destiny, and I forget his exact words, something about darkness.
Yes. So now let's complain about this match that we know we're going to get. Okay, guys, so for all of you who have been clamoring for Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, okay, they're both heels. This is happening at Great Balls of Fire. They actually said it tonight, not just the name of the pay-per-view. They said this was going to happen at Great Balls of Fire.
Neither of them can wrestle.
Neither of them can wrestle that much. And frankly, you know Samoa Joe getting his ass beat.
Yeah.
You know this, right?
What I want is I want them to be like, you know what, Samoa Joe? You got to do more stuff off the ropes. Big boot from the second buckle leg.
It doesn't seem right.
It isn't
even
right.
Worse than this is that I can't even complain because Jinder Mahal is your WWE champion right now. We gotta have a chance to have Samoa Joe, who's been on the roster for 4 months, hasn't done jack shit, and then Jinder Mahal, who was a jobber 4 months ago, are your world champs.
Let's see, the only iconic Samoan Joe moments I can recall are when he came out to help Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn, but then got messed up by your boy, Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And then one time he hit this crazy ensigiri to some dude's face when he was on the top turnbuckle.
Now, I'm going to remind you. So remember when Samoa Joe came out, and I brought it to the attention of us. Because I was like, just hear the pop he gets.
Literally nobody. Except
There's
the announcers.
No pop. And now you're going to have this heel who should have been booked as a dominant heel. A smart dominant heel is going to get his ass beat by Brock Lesnar.
He's going to get suplexed at least 5 times.
Oh my god. Why? Why?
And one thing that I've really liked about, this Extreme Rules, almost every time there was a foreign announcer, they do like they're talking in the other language, and at the very end, all you hear is a Brock Lesnar. Thought it was great. I got such a kick out of that. That is cool.
Pizzo Mojado Brock Lesnar. Caliente, Brock Lesnar.
Ausumstrasse, Brock Lesnar.
Ich liebe dich, Brock Lesnar. Oh God, this has gotten a little offensive, hasn't it?
No.
So okay, let's say something good about the show. So name a positive highlight for this show.
Man, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns can really sell each other well.
You know what I've noticed though, in seriousness? Okay, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns legitimately feel like the only main eventers on Raw.
Right? Like, hold on, I guess you could argue Finn Balor. Like, I didn't really know who Finn Balor was until this match. I've seen him, but I haven't seen him, like, wrestle. I feel like all three of them together in a ring would be a really good show. It would be. But
here's my argument with that. Seth Rollins and Finn Balor have a lot of overlap in their moves. A lot. They both do the stupid sling blade move.
Both high flyers.
Yeah. And their match at SummerSlam was not good. I don't care what any fans say. Yes, it was the first Universal title match. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, it was a good match. It was a good match. The wrong guys were in the match. The wrong guy won. The wrong guy got injured during the match. Instead of whispering to the ref, "Hey ref, can't feel my arm," he tries to complete the match. He's like, "Fuck it, I'll be the first Universal champ."
Talking about Seth Rollins?
No, Finn Balor.
Oh, okay.
So that's something I've noticed. Because Samoa Joe doesn't feel like a big deal. Bray Wyatt doesn't feel like a big deal.
Yeah.
Finn Balor really doesn't feel like a big deal. The Hardys could feel like a big deal.
But they're too old.
They've been shoving them into the tag team division so hard that I don't think they'll feel like a big deal.
And then when you bring them out of nowhere and just drop them through the roof on top of everybody, and you're like, they're gonna be your new tag champions. Out of fucking nowhere, like, yeah, it's cool to see him in a match. That's great for the nostalgia value, but when you make them the tag champs, come on.
So I'll go over some positives. The Cruiserweight match, while not what I wanted to see, it was better than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, good point.
There were a few good moments. For a submission match, I think the suspense, the drama was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because there were legitimately moments where I thought, yeah, Aries has won this match.
Mm-hmm.
And
there were.
I'm good with that. Okay, the fact that Cesaro and Sheamus actually won the tag belts, while I'm unhappy with the match itself,
the outcome.
The outcome, definitely a good outcome.
I'm
not going to complain about that.
It sucks for me because when we're doing our points, I was like, it's going to be the Hardys. So we're down a point, whatever. Let's see.
Anything else positive?
Not the women's match.
The women's match was short.
It was very short.
Short like Alexa Bliss. That was good.
Oh God, I couldn't believe how short she was. Like standing next to Bayley, she's like 1.5 feet shorter.
Like how you're still on this.
Like it blew my mind. I was like, man, she's a midget. Sorry, a little person.
Strong words. What other good things happened tonight?
We got to see
The Miz won the title again.
Oh yeah, The Miz. Dean Ambrose actually put on kind of an entertaining match.
I wouldn't even say it was kind of entertaining.
I mean, honestly,
it was a passable match, but
I had more entertainment value out of watching that match than I did out of the following 3 matches.
That's really not saying much. What was that? The mixed tag, the women's match, and then the actual tag match?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a good setup.
No.
And the sad thing is, I might actually be able to agree with you and say that might have been like the second best match on this card. Oh, God.
That was rough.
On the plus side, though, it wasn't WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, wait, I've never seen WrestleMania 2.
I haven't either, but I'm dreading that. It's WrestleMania in 3 venues. Old wrestling sucked. And I think that's how we end this.
Sounds okay.
Old wrestling sucked.
Old wrestling sucked.
Samoa Joe sucks more.